What's going on, everybody? Jhow here, and in this Diablo 3 video we're going to cover a Demon Hunter build that is going to be a fast farming build. And with a fast farming build we're going to cover it pretty quickly, so let's go. For the skills, it's grenades with grenade cache. That's going to throw out 3 grenades that bounce around, explode, do some fire damage, and that's how you're going to do most of your damage. Fan of knives with bladed armor. This is really good because you get that extra 40% additional armor for 6 seconds, and you're going to need to stay alive because you're going to be running at a hectic pace. Vault with action shot. While vaulting, shoot 4 arrows for 75% weapon damage at nearby enemies. These shots are guaranteed critical hits. We'll explain why this is actually the preferred rune when we get to the gear. Preparation with invigoration because you're going to need more discipline because it's going to be using the Unhallowed Essence set. More discipline, more damage. Vengeance with seed to be able to do some more damage while you're tumbling about, firing off some grenades, and to be able to get that hatred back, which it doesn't really even matter, but more damage nonetheless. Companion with wolf companion because, hey, who needs the other companions when you can howl like the wolf and get that extra damage. For the passives, ambush, because it's a speed farming build, you're going to try and kill things quick and early, so do that extra damage to enemies with high health. Next up, grenadier, increase the damage of your grenades, increase the explosion size of grenades, and well, that goes hand in hand with grenade. Next up, Thrill of the Hunt. Enemies hit by your hatred spinners are slowed by 80% for 2 seconds. You're using nothing but hatred spinners, so you're going to pair that up with the other passive, Cull the Weak. Increase the damage against slowed or chilled enemies by 20%. Synergy all around for this build because you are going to be throwing out grenades nonstop. Now you're asking yourself, how the f does this thing work? Well, the 2-piece bonus doesn't really matter on the Unhallowed Essence set. The 4-piece bonus gives you some good damage reduction and extra increased damage depending on where you're standing. The big part is the 6-piece bonus. Your generators, yada yada, deal 40% increased damage for every point of discipline you have, going back to why you're using preparation with invigoration. For the other parts of your gear, your bracers, wraps of clarity, your hatred generators reduce your damage taken by anywhere up to 35%. Make sure and roll some fire damage on there, crit hit chance, get that dex vitality, get that thing working. For the belt, Hunter's Wrath, your primary skills attack 30% faster and deal up to 60% more damage. This is pretty key to make this thing work. The fast attack plus the extra damage, of course, is necessary because you're using nothing but primary attacks. Also, don't forget that you can also roll grenade damage on your belt. Same for your pants. Depth diggers are going to go here. Your primary skills that generate resource can deal up to 100% increased damage. Pretty good thing there. Also, you can roll grenade damage here. So as you can see, you're going to be doing a lot of grenade damage, and your primary skills are where the damage is at. Speaking of damage and where things are at, let's take a look at the weapons because Danetta's Revenge along with Danetta's Spite means that you have Danetta's Hatred. Now, they each have their own separate affix. For Danetta's Revenge, Vault gains the effect of the Rattling Rune, which is why you go away from that and you go to Action Shot, so now you've got double the rune effect and you're getting good value there. You're getting good CC, everything all around. Next up, you're going to see the Danetta's Spite. Leave a clone of yourself behind after using Vault. Of course, that's wait, that's not really that important. But the 2-piece bonus, Vault costs 8 hatred instead of discipline. So now your Unhallowed Essence set, you don't have to worry about running out of your discipline. You can build up your hatred. You almost never run out of hatred. And Vault deals 800% increased damage. So you've got double the runes on Vault. You've got never-ending discipline because you never use any. So all in all, Unhallowed Essence and this paired up means you're doing a fast fire build that's doing a lot of damage. But we're not done yet. And we're not done because we've got to talk about the focus and restraint. To be able to proc both parts of this, you have your primary attacks, which is your main attack, and the other one is your Vault because it's using hatred now. And so you just use that. It's going to be shooting out with the action shot, doing things like that. So you get both parts of the focus and restraint doing that bonus damage. Also, for your amulet, a good Hellfire amulet can go a long way because there's really nothing else that's going to pair up here. Else, if you have an amulet that reduces one particular type of element damage, that can also go good because you're going to be standing in a lot of crazy places, playing pretty active and pretty aggressive with this build. But we're not done yet, because we're going to look at Kanai's Cube, and we're going to look at the Dawn, reduce the cooldown of Vengeance by 65%. This is one of your skills, and if you can have this on 100% uptime, it's about 36 to 37% cooldown reduction, but it's not a huge deal if you can't reach that. To be able to sacrifice other areas that you get that on, not that big of a deal. One of the things that you want to make sure and do is get some good area damage. Getting good cooldown reduction is good, but area damage is going to be there as well. And what makes this work in the new season, in Season 9 and 2.4.3 and beyond, is the new Hellcat Waistguard. And you're going to put this in the armor slot. Grenades have a chance to bounce 5 times, dealing an additional 50% damage on each bounce. This bonus is increased to 800% on the final bounce. So things are going to be bouncing around, doing a lot of damage, and that is what makes this work with the grenades. Last up, the Ring of Royal Grandeur. Since you're going to be using the Depth Diggers on your character, you're going to need to make sure to get that 6-piece bonus by using the ring in the cube. Now, when it comes to your legendary gems, well, there's going to be 3, but there's going to be one main one that you want to make sure and have, and that is Simplicity Strength. This is going to increase the damage of your primary skills, as we know that's your main damage dealer, and then hits with primary abilities will heal you for 4% of your max health. You're going to be spamming this super fast, so you're going to be able to regen quite a bit of health pretty often. It's basically a necessity at this point. Next up, Bane of the Trapped. We already know, we talked about the passives, we talk about things that you're going to be doing. You have your Fan of Knives, and you've got all kinds of slows that are going to be going on. You might as well do some extra damage with that, which is where Bane of the Trapped comes in. So another good way to amp some damage. And for the last gem slot, there's actually a couple different directions you can go. Bane of the Powerful is good when you're trying to do really fast clears. The thing about this is that fast clears generally means skipping the yellow elites and killing the blue ones. If you can group quite a bit of things up in the same area, then the yellow ones will fall down naturally, especially if you go with that area damage and you're just getting max value out of your abilities. But sitting around trying to kill this when you're going fast, not that great. So Bane of the Powerful is going to be a good choice. Bane of the Stricken if you're looking to push higher, but there's a couple of other options you can go with, including the Pain Enhancer, and it might not necessarily be at the top, but that extra attack speed against extra bleeding enemies isn't that bad. You're going to find yourself in very close quarters with a lot of people because it doesn't really matter. So long as you're active with your vault, you're going to be able to ignore a lot of that damage. And there's a couple of options you can go here. There's some defensive gems, but for the most part, for a split pushing build, for a fast pushing build, you're going to be going damage most of the time, and this is just fine for tier 13. So that's going to do it for this Diablo 3 speed farming build for the Demon Hunter. Remember, this is mainly for bounties and regular rift clears. You can take this higher, but let's keep it real here. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that like button below or leave me a comment and let me know what you thought as well. Also, be sure and check out these other videos and subscribe for more Diablo content coming in the future. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Until next time, happy hunting. See you again.